Irish physicist John Stuart Bell sought out a firm construction that would limit the sorts of realities that are possible given the facts of quantum mechanics, and therefore a mechanism by which we could deduce by elimination the correct interpretation of QM. Bell's theorem, which has been proven in its entirety by the modern physical sciences, says that any model of reality must be non-local, meaning that it permits faster than light influences among its quantum systems. Therefore, a quantum system can affect another quantum system that would be intraversable by light in that unit of time. So somehow the information is getting passed faster than the speed of light, which is supposed to be a physical contradiction within the universe. How can something travel faster than the speed of the light? Doesn't this contradict relativity, which says that any object will reach infinite mass as it approaches the speed of light? Is pure quantum information somehow exempt from this dictum of physical reality? Well, not quite. The secret that no physicist will tell you or even knows is that the information itself doesn't travel at all in the usual sense that we think about motion. As Langen says, certain topological inclusion relationships are replaced with logical distribution relationships. The consequences are consistent with Bell's theorem. This means that topological inclusion, how the laws of the universe act on physical states, are usually capped out at the speed of light, which is also the speed of information processing. However, there are certain relationships in which the information is not being communicated within reality, but is actually provided back to the global syntactor, who then sends information back to a distinct location. So this so-called entanglement that's happening is not actually a relationship between the two objects at all, but a mutual relationship to the global identity of the system, which is then distributing a new instance that is coupled technically, but it's coupled at the higher level. It's not coupled from the bottom up. It's coupled from the top down. So this is why you're able to have these superluminal influences, is because nothing is traveling. Things are simply evolving within its intrinsic background, which is the background of the universe, or within the global identity of the universe as a self-modeling universal language. So this global syntactor can then project information inwards to its syntactic operators, which then sends information back down to a distant location in these mutually coupled syntactic operators. So when we observe a non-local relationship between two objects, what we're actually talking about is a mutual relationship between the two objects wherein they are put into mutual common contact through the global syntactor itself. It's sort of like a long distance relationship. The two objects can't actually travel to talk with one another. They're too far away. The information wouldn't pass and it would take too long. So instead they call and text one another and they're able to communicate instantaneously. So they are just like this. If you have, two syntactic operators are dating and they want to talk with one another, it's like in this model, the internet is the global syntactor, which can communicate non-local information between 2 points. It's not like they are both communicating with one another, but they're both communicating to the internet, who then communicates to the other party through this structure. So CTMU's model of homology, wherein the global syntactor resides within every object, process, and relation, eliminates certain logical difficulties involving non-locality, and really makes it as easy to think of my communication with my alleged Canadian girlfriend. This is why Christopher Langen says quantum non-locality is logically insupportable without the CTMUs, that there's no way to have this consistent feedback between the global self-distributive relationships and the local instances of reality unless you have a self-consistent, self-contained model of reality that allows for non-locality. As Nick Herbert says, Bell's theorem tells you right away, if it's local, it's hokum. So basically the metaphysical requirement that we have to take from Bell's theorem is that we live in a non-local reality, which allows for the extended superposition in the combined amplitudes of widely disparate objects, meaning that reality is capable of programming itself not in a way that is local, but in a way that is non-local, meaning the entire global identity of the system can program widely separated instances in space and time, but there is a coherent intention that goes across that, a telon, which is driving the metaphysical evolution of the universe non-locally. So this is what it takes to explain evolution and the unfolding of reality within the context of the CTMU, is that you need to make full use of Bell's theorem, which proves that information is non-local in terms of its syntactic self-distribution. Thank you. Take care. God bless.